First thing we want to do before we get too crazy with it is right here, there's an orange service plug. We want to push that up, then over and out. So for draining our coolant, we have two radiators on this. We have the main radiator and then the inverter radiator. That lower hose, that's for our inverter. So we can pop that hose off and drain our inverter cooler. Let's see if this will twist. There we go. Then we got our catch pan underneath right there. Let's see how big of a mess we can make. Perfect. We'll just let that drain. All right, moving along, we got our cowl to take off. Our wiper arms are 14 millimeter. Give them a wiggle and they should pop up. There we go. Our top plastic can come off. Should just pop up. There we go. Take this little rubber. There we go. Just have to maneuver it. It was kind of stuck under the hood just a smidge here. So that side's off. Come over to this side. Now this vehicle does not have clips on the side, but if you have clips, there may be one on this end and one on that end. There we go. Perfect. Now we'll remove our wiper motor, unplug it, and then 10 millimeter bolts. Just set this aside. And now our bottom tray. We have this harness we can disconnect from the back with just a pair of pliers. I like using a little small needle nose like this. You just pinch the back of it and it pops through. There we go. And then same with this one here. Just want to pinch it, pop it up. We have our relay box, two 10 millimeters. I'm just gonna put these bolts right back in. Pull up and out. Nice, that gives us a lot of room to work with. Next, we're gonna tackle our inverter. Normally, when the service plug is disconnected, there's no more voltage coming up front. It's no longer a live circuit. But if there's any kind of malfunction, we could be exposed to high voltage. To double check that everything's dead, we're gonna be using a voltmeter. We want volts DC, we want the red in the input, the black in the COM. Then we'll go back to the battery, the regular 12 volt battery, and just double check that this is working. Let's hop back there. So all we want to know is if this will tell us if there's a voltage present. So I'm hooked up to the 12 volt battery, and you can see we have 12 volts. So we know our meter is working. Now we'll go back up front. Next, we want to pull off our cover. 10 millimeter bolts plus a T30. Before I remove the cover, I'm going to throw on my high voltage gloves. These have a insulating glove to protect against high voltage, plus a leather protecting glove. Throw this on. And this is just in case there's any voltage. And again, there shouldn't be, but just in case. I don't want to touch something I'm not supposed to if it's live. So it should pop up. There we go. All right, there's a few places we want to check voltage. Let me zoom you in a little closer. Hopefully you can see right here, there's a black and a red. That's the positive and negative coming straight from our battery. So we got volts DC. Go ahead, touch these together, and we should have 0. And there we go, 0 volts. So we're not getting anything coming off our battery. Next, we move this out of the way. You can see a little better. Right underneath this foam, there are 2 bolt heads. We want to check those as well. 0 volts, good. Okay, we got one more place coming off the electric motor. Here in the back, there are 3 bolt heads that we can check. We want to check a combination of all of them. So we'll go far end to middle. Okay, 0. Far end to close end. All right, 0. And then close end to middle. Still showing 0. And that's it. We are completely safe. We take our gloves off, touch anything we want. Just gonna lay the cover back over for now so we don't get a bunch of dust in it. We can disconnect our plug here. This green tab you push up like that, and then you just pinch like normal. Get a little screwdriver to pinch. Sometimes my fingers aren't strong enough. There we go. We have this top hose comes off. Give it a twist. There we go. And we have a bottom hose right under it. There we go. That comes off. We have this sensor here that can be disconnected. So get a little pick to help me with this one. This sensor's giving me a little trouble, so I'm just gonna unbolt it. 2 10 millimeter bolts. All right. We want to remove our 2 big back wires. You just pinch and pull off. There we go. There's one. There's the other one. Next, we want to remove this big one here. Let me move you around. We want the 2 10 millimeter bolts on the outside. And we'll pull the cover back off. and get those 3 connections on the inside. Plug should come out. There we go. Set that aside. We have these 3 plugs here. You just pinch and pull. Okay, and then we'll pop this out of its little grommet slot. Push that aside. Now there are 3 wires in the back. Let me zoom you in. We want to disconnect those 3 wires as well. Once those are disconnected, we have that bracket there, 10 millimeter. Just gonna put the cover back on to protect it. So these brackets, 2 up front, 1 in the back, they're actually 12 millimeter. We'll pull those. One more little coolant hose right here. Looks like a little bleeder. Pop that off. Okay, I think we're getting close. Pull up, I think that's it. Not sure what it's stuck on. We got this cable right here in the front. Let's see if it's attached inside too. Yeah, it looks like it. Let me pull this back off. I'll show you real quick. 10 millimeter for our 3 bolts inside. And then 2 10 millimeters for the outside. Okay, that should pop through. There we go. Okay, I think that's it. Get a good grip on it. Nice. Our inverter might still have a little coolant in it, so just keep that in mind. Okay, I forgot these bolts here. I left them in. I think that's it. Bolt holes are lining up. Nice. Now we'll plug in our electrical connectors here in the back. Okay, now let's pull our top off. We have these we can plug in. This little grommet goes right in its little grommet hole. This here goes on the side. Plug these in. Okay. So you have this connector up front here. Sneak that through and that gets bolted in. It's this really big fat one. Gonna use a magnet for this corner one. It's a little tricky. There we go. Snug those down. They don't have to be crazy tight. We'll get these. I think the biggest concern is to make sure it's tight enough but not over torqued. I think that's the easiest on these, is over torquing. Right, we got our big one back here. Pull off all of those. The inverter is actually really easy to deal with. You just gotta watch out for the voltage, but once you know where to measure your voltage and you're safe, pretty straightforward stuff. As far as removing it anyway. Now as far as it operates, now that's a different level. Okay, now we have these plugs here. There you go, you should hear them snap. Nice. I wanna say that is it. So we'll lift this up, we'll put our case back on. Make sure no wires are pinched. We got that 1 Torx. Now really the Torx can go anywhere, but I think having it in the front makes it easy to see. We'll snug all these down. All right, we got this tiny little coolant hose. Plug that in. And we need to find this other hose. Okay, got this bottom hose. I think there's just 3 coolant hoses. There we go. I think that's pretty much it. We got this connector here. Figure out how to do that. Oh, looks like this goes here, and then this goes here. That wasn't hard to figure out. And it's been a while since you worked on it last. You just gotta put the puzzle together. There's a little connector harness retainer right here. Underneath, you'll see it. I wanna say, that is it. We're gonna go over and fill up our inverter cooler. Let's turn you around. So in the front, we have a bleeder. We're gonna loosen it up, 10 millimeter. There we go. All right, we'll pop the cap off here. Now we'll start topping this off. Nice and easy. We got a little coolant coming out. Okay, I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna open it again. So it's just coming out, solid coolant. So we'll close that off. We're gonna hook back up our hybrid battery. We're gonna put the service plug back in, get that connected. After connecting back up our 12-volt battery and our hybrid battery, I turned the car to accessory because I was gonna turn on this pump separately. But as soon as I did that, the pump started running all on its own. So I'm gonna take advantage of that and fill this up. Crack this bleeder real quick. So just coolant's coming out. All right, thanks for watching. This was a big job, a lot of fun. If you have any questions, comment down below. Like, subscribe. See you on the next one.